What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, or maybe I should say, it's a me, DreamcastGuy. I finally got to try Mario Odyssey, and it is just perfection. Now what I got to play was just 2 little demos that were actually like a vertical slice of the new open world gameplay sections, and one that is more of a typical gameplay world. A part where you're going to be running around in a desert and doing like more structured missions. To start with, I was actually more curious about the open world part, so I started out in New Donk City. As soon as you drop in, there's people, there's humans, and everybody wants to try and talk to you. You can actually pick up different quests and objectives. Like, I talked to the mayor of New Donk City, and she let me try and find different band members. They were having like a giant festival, but they were just scattered around, and you had to use different Mario skills in order to find them, of course, which means that if you want to get a jazz musician who's on top of a building, you're going to be using the wall jump mechanic to find your way into an alley, bounce up, and get and talk to him. Now, as soon as I started doing this, it immediately struck me that, in my opinion, the controls are very, very different from what we're used to. In fact, I would say that they're highly refined. I'd personally refer to them as surgically precise. It's definitely made for you to be able to make really, really, really close and narrow jumps back to back. And it didn't take me too long to get used to. I mean, within 2 or 3 minutes, I was definitely landing all sorts of jumps, but the speed is definitely different, but in a good way. At one point, I was just trying to explore the world of New Donk City and see what there was to find, and I ended up stumbling upon this construction site, and there were all these giant beams being rotated by cranes. Now, I could see a moon on the far side. These are the big main collectibles. Getting them is what unlocks new worlds, and I think even all sorts of little collectibles in side game modes. So I wanted to get over there just to grab it. It was going to be my first moon, and it was a fun challenge. As soon as I went up there, I was worried for only a second that I wouldn't be able to make that jump. But by doing the crouch jump from Mario 64, I was able to basically long jump onto the beam, watch as it starts to rotate, and time it and jump perfectly over there. So it was just a short little triple jump basically, but it was so finesse. It was so precise, I was almost stunned by it. It's one of those things, it's like putting on dancing shoes for the first time and immediately doing the Thriller dance. You would just kind of be impressed of how the hell did I do that? And really, that is the sentiment that really kind of stuck with me throughout the entire time with these demos, is how is it so fun and so intuitive and so easy to play? So I went out there, got the moon, and decided I was going to hop back to the main city, and I managed to hit my first checkpoint. All the way out on there, and this half-built building was a checkpoint flag, and I discovered that this is how the life system is going to work now. So there's these little flags all over the place that have like Bowser's grinning face on it, and when you touch them, they'll automatically turn to the Mario flag, a nice red hat. I think it looks like this, and then, anytime you die, you'll go right back there. But you technically don't don't die in the typical sense. So if you fall off of the world, or you end up getting hit too much, you have a health meter. There's 3 hits that are in the corner of the screen. It says 3 life. And as those count down, you're slowly being weakened, so to speak. But when they go to 0, you don't get a game over. You just lose 10 coins and come right back. Now, that is a cool system, but I also think that it's going to make it where there's no real threat to your livelihood ever. You don't have to worry about losing your progress, because no matter what, as long as you have coins, you're going to be sticking around. And even just trying to explore this tiny bit of the city, I ended up getting hundreds and hundreds of coins. They were everywhere. There were these giant new purple coins I'd never seen before. It looked like there were 100 hidden in each area, and in a way they kind of reminded me of the flags in the original Assassin's Creed. Something that was just kind of cool and out of the way, that rewarded you for being brave and exploring, and I was getting tons and tons of these, and I thought it was cool. I'm assuming that if you get all of them, it gives you like a bonus moon, and you know, eventually I'm sure you'll hit a point where if you need all the moons for a master file, you're gonna have to find all 100 coins in all the different worlds. Now, let's move on real quick to the sand world. Same controls, same environment, but I got to use more of Cappy at this point. The big thing about this hat is the fact that it's magical, it's sentient, it has its own mind, and whenever you want, you can take it off and throw it as an attack. Anything it hits, for the most part, you can actually do something with. Now, this is probably the part that I had to experiment with the most, because there didn't really seem to be any rhyme or reason. Sometimes I could throw it into a parking cone and it would ramp me up a building, or I could throw it into an electric railing and it would let me slide down the railing as the railing. That was all strange, but it's also usable for the most obvious thing, which is that Cappy can possess stuff. So you can possess like a bullet bill and fly around the level, or possess a chain chomp or a giant dinosaur in one of the trailers. I get that, and it makes sense, and I think that's what the real purpose of it is. I think that there's going to be a lot of trial and error, though. You really kind of just have to figure it out. You have to throw your hat at everything to figure out what you can do and what you can't do. And I'm actually kind of curious what else there's going to be in the later worlds. I'm guessing both of these are very, very early on in the total game, and I'm curious how many puzzles are going to rely on this mechanic, since when you become these creatures, you actually gain their abilities. Like, when I become a bullet bill, I'm actually flying, and if I hit stuff, I explode the bullet bill and become Mario again. So I could hit certain objects and break them, or get to higher areas by flying. Now, what's going to happen if there starts being a spot where, like, you need to be super, super tiny in order to get through a door? I imagine there'll be something where you actually have to throw Cappy, possess a specific Goomba, and walk through it or something. It's really cool. Now, after I did both these demos, which obviously freaking blew my mind since I can't freaking stop talking so fast, what really got me is I started talking to the Nintendo representatives that were standing next to there, and I was really trying to just get any little extra secrets out of them, because obviously these guys work with Nintendo. They've probably played more of the game than I have. So I started talking to them, and what really caught me off guard the most is they were talking about the fact that they wanted this to be much more hub-based. Now, basically, in the world, you'll fly down to, say, like an ice planet, and when you're there, everything is ice-themed, but there's all sorts of different stuff hidden within it. Like, you may find a pipe that goes down to the underbelly, and within there you'll find these dark caves, and within there you'll find totally different gameplay mechanics, different types of puzzles and stuff than you'd see on the surface. Or you could have something where you go to a fire planet, which I'm not sure if it exists, I'm just using it as an example. You go to a fire planet, and there could be, like, a thing where you climb on top of a mountain, fall into a volcano, and then it blasts you to a secret spot in the sky. They said that each world is very contained to a theme. There's not like pictures in Super Mario 64 or anything that teleport you to different environments. You stick to that theme, but then once you get within it, the farther you progress, the more it tries to experiment with that theme. And that's really cool, because I feel like it's gonna make it where, as I get further into the game and I start getting hungrier and hungrier to find all the more rare and elusive moons, I'll be pushed to try and find different stuff, possess different monsters, and really try and figure out where else I can go, what other weird secrets are out there. Oh man, okay, sorry, I'm just so extremely excited. These have just been my incredibly random, off-the-cuff thoughts. This is the last video I'm ever going to film in my office, which is why you see this weird background as everything else is empty. So sorry if there's an echo. Thank you so much for watching. This has been super fun, and thank you for just being the freaking coolest people ever. Please give this video a like, share with your friends to get them excited for Super Mario Odyssey, and do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. And seriously, in the comments, tell me why you are excited for Super Mario Odyssey, because at this point, it's probably my most hyped game of the year. I want to go in there and just try and figure out some secrets that no one else has discovered. Oh, hi. I'm just working on the next video. If you want to see what it is, go ahead and click this button and you can subscribe. Also, if you click these video links, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. Now I'm just going to sit here for a minute and wait for you to subscribe. Oh, I guess I could put on these giant glasses. I literally found these on a roller coaster.